Hello everybody and welcome to the Gyrocopter Flying Club. While we watch someone called Wolfie entertain us with his skills, a quick reminder of the webinar on Saturday the 10th about the future of the gyroplane. Details and joining instructions are in the description. It's not the main theme of this film, but as we start to emerge from the latest virus lockdowns, a reminder to everybody to perhaps get some time with an instructor. And that's regardless of how comfortable you may be with your flying or confident of your ability, even if it may not match the king of the wingover, Wolfie here. An hour with your local instructor will give you a second impression, and the £150 or $200 for the hour is a bargain. Not only will your instructor give you some great colour on technique, but he'll make your hours flying much more productive than it otherwise would have been. It'll also be enjoyable and perhaps entertaining, and you'll spend some time with somebody who likes flying as much as you do. You also need to use them because the last 12 months have been very difficult for flying instructors, and it really will be a case of use them or lose them. I'm not suggesting you need to see them as charity cases, but after a long layoff, you need them and they need you, so get involved. Regular viewers will know that in the UK, single-seat gyroplane activity is almost non-existent in 2021. Fundamentally, the problem is one of regulation, where the original group, the British Rotorcraft Association, took a decision to abandon single-seater training and focus entirely upon factory-built two-seaters, which caused a split, and engineering-wise, things also fragmented. As a result of this, the group and type of aircraft was unrepresented and without ongoing expertise. Yes, there were and still are a few individuals that have very good knowledge of single-seat gyroplanes, but there are a number of problems. First, many of them are quite old, and so without a structure to transfer knowledge effectively, at some point that line comes to a natural conclusion. The second problem, especially engineering-wise, is that no one group really represents the whole. Once the British Rotorcraft Association blew up, with the actions of a few self-interested parties, ongoing regulation was left to the Light Aircraft Association, or the LAA, who are very fixed-wing focused and naturally become very nervous when someone presents the possibility of allowing a barn find to become airworthy again, especially when they acknowledge their knowledge of gyroplanes is limited. Mike Kincannon has been trying to bring the aviation to market for some time now, and again, this has been a labour of love. And whilst the product is very good, the landscape for pilot licensing is just as hopeless as it has been for someone trying to resurrect something from the 1970s. And that leads me to a conversation I had with someone today. If you want to fly a single-seater, just how do you do it? You see, in the UK, the guidance material suggests that you need a minimum number of hours with an instructor or examiner who is also qualified on the same aircraft that you want to fly. And here we disappear down a rabbit hole of some utter nonsense. You see, it has to be the same aircraft that you want to fly. So, whilst factory-built two-seaters neatly pigeonhole to type, single-seaters naturally don't. And in the UK, our problem is, to my knowledge, there are around 4 people that are instructor-examiner rated that have time in any single-seater, never mind the one that you happen to be wanting to fly. So we'll have instructors that are literally around half an hour ahead of the student. And of those 4 people, 2 are very old, and whilst no criticism of those individuals, at some point they just won't be able to carry on, which to my point earlier, there's no structure to transfer the knowledge. There's a third who I believe has stopped offering single-seat training, and the fourth, whilst a very active instructor, is the least experienced on any single-seater. And I wonder if there is a way to find better value add than having an instructor that's just a few hours more experienced than the so-called student. Years ago, I mentioned to a senior examiner that in any activity it's far more healthy for all to be fishing in an ocean rather than a pond. Well, in 2021, instructors are fishing in a puddle and the sun is out. Factory gyroplanes have peaked and the adventuring spirit lies with single-seaters, and customers will be encouraged if the pilot licensing and its training become more intelligent than keeping it all to one guy who, because he's about in period, but keeps it all to himself. In other categories of aviation, well-tested aircraft and well-written pilot notes serve single-seat types well, and it shouldn't be any different to gyroplanes. Good luck and fly safely.